I have one more thing for us today, folks. One more thing for us today. A special new segment I have for us. I have been wanting to create like a segment a place that I can just like talk about things that I have been obsessed with all week, right? This is called HyperFixations. Monty, what is HyperFixations? A hyperfixation is something that you just like you focus on. You can't think about anything else besides this, and these are my hyperfixations of this week. I find myself falling into many of these rabbit holes so often, and I'm excited to share some with y'all, and I'm gonna do it in the style of the PowerPoints that I give y'all at the end of our first playthroughs, right? So if y'all have been following the channel for a while, y'all know at the end of a first playthrough, I have a PowerPoint of my favorite moments, favorite characters, etc. So I have that, but for my week. Here we go. Today's HyperFixations episode is titled Yodeling, My Hard Relationships with Music, and Drarry. Ah! No! Drarry! Yes. We'll talk about it, okay? We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it. All right, so let's talk about hyperfixation. So, I've been having this like a really huge like hyperfixation on like music and my relationship with music, because I don't think I've had a very healthy relationship with music for most of my life, right? I think that I think that for me, I grew up in high school in the choirs, doing musical theater. I pursued acting for a long time. I did a lot of theater. Like this is literally like at the bottom, a picture of me in a musical, right? That I got paid for, you know what I mean? Like it was a job that I did for a long time, and because of that, I don't think I ever had like a good foundation of like just loving music for the sake of music. I think for me, it was always a job. It was always something that I tried my hardest for. I took voice lessons all throughout high school and all throughout college. I paid a lot of money for them as well. Like they were private lessons. Like one of my voice teachers charged like $45 for half an hour. You know what I mean? Expensive stuff per week. And so to me, I think that didn't create a firm foundation, a good foundation of like good relationship with music. And now as I'm like in my 20s, and now as I'm like older, and like now that I'm not pursuing it anymore, I can kind of sit down with music and just like listen to it and feel and lean into the emotions that I feel, instead of like over-analyzing my space in it, just letting music be the space. Does that make sense? Now when I listen to music, it's just so, if it's beautiful, it's beautiful, and I can just listen. And like I'm a huge Adele fan, and just listening to her lyrics now has a new meaning, and I can sit there listening to a million years ago, and like it touches me deep into my soul, and it's beautiful. It's a beautiful development, and I'm really appreciative that I've gotten to this point now. So on the same front with music, here's some songs that I actually hyperfixated on this week. This one is something that I've been like humming and singing during my Final Fantasy 16 playthrough. It's so beautiful. It's My Love, Mine, All Mine by Mitski. My love is mine, all mine. My love, mine, all mine. It's so haunting, so beautiful. It's so tragic. I'm a lover of romance novels. I'm a lover of romance stories, comics, anything, you name it. I love romance and anything. And to me, this song is just like, you have nothing else left in the world except for your love. Like you strip yourself down to the barest part of you, and all you have is your love for this other person. And to me, that's absolutely beautiful message. And to me, like, I come from the fan fiction tradition. It's beautiful. It's beautiful to think about all of these like ships that I have, and having this song kind of play in the background of their love story. One of your girls, I really related to it. I too have had crushes on straight men. More on this in a second. But Proud Mary by Tina Turner is another one that I'm hyperfixating on this week because, interestingly enough, I have never heard the song until this week. I've never heard the song until this week, and oh my god, I was like in my kitchen dancing to this song. And the big wheels keep on turning. Oh, so good, and I love it. So, really recommend it. So this is something that I have been hyperfixating on, is this music video, right, for One of Your Girls. I obviously can't play you the fucking song because copyright, but there's something about his face in this that is so like fascinating to me. Like, I don't know why. Perhaps it's like the little gestures he does with his face. It's just how he says words. Like, here, I have the video pulled up. Like I said, can't play you the fucking song, but I can show you this little clip, okay? We're just gonna look at this little clip. So we can't listen to the song, but look at his face. Like, just like watch his face. Oh, also Ross Lynch. Like, just the way he says words and just the way that he like talks, like the look at you, like that one. I don't know why. Like, I'm so hypnotized by it. I'm so endlessly hypnotized by how he says that. It makes no sense at all, but I just like I'm hyperfixating on it. All still on the music track is The Voice. So The Voice is not something that I watch. I don't watch a lot of these like voice reality TV shows, like the American Idol. I've never seen a full episode of The Voice, of American Idol, of God, I don't know, what's another one? Is X Factor one? I don't know. I don't know. I don't watch this kind of thing, right? But I've been seeing clips on TikTok, and I'm obsessed with these. I'm so obsessed with these. Like, I will literally sit in my bed, like, just watching these videos over and over and over again. Because, like, you'll scroll on TikTok, and it's the same video, right? And so I'm obsessed with watching these two performances. Chachi's like whistle tones, and just seeing how like enamored everyone is by her voice. So good. The la 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 la. Oh, it was so good. Oh, Sid knows the Ruby Lee thing. It was like, so it's a really great transition to that. I want to be a cowboy sweetheart. A cowboy sweetheart. And then with her yodeling, dude, and seeing the amazed faces of these judges to these two wonderfully talented women is incredible. I've seen the other ones as well, but these two are my absolute favorite. I just cannot get over these two. And like I'm a huge country music fan. Like I don't know what to tell you. I'm sorry. What can I say, dude? What can I say? Like I'm a huge country music fan. Like I love country music from the bottom of my heart. When I go to Nashville, like both times I've gone to Nashville, I've gone to the Grand Ole Opry. Once on tour and once just to go watch the show. Oh my god, dude, so good. I love country music. And so seeing Reba McEntire here and seeing her talk to her and just how good this was. I'm singing and dancing in my kitchen with Ruby Lee as well. So on the same Ruby Lee front though, yodeling is another thing I hyperfixated on this week. So like I found the Ruby Lee video like on my bed, 3 a.m, late at night. I was making oven fries, right? And I was like, wow, like she's yodeling and it's so good. I want to learn how to yodel. I say 3 o'clock in the morning in an apartment complex. And it's interesting. I was like looking it up and I was like just kind of like humming along to what Ruby Lee was doing. And I realized that what I was doing was not yodeling. It's just me like going between notes. I can't do it for you right now, but like it's the yodeling. There's like a special thing you have to do with your voice where it's like you purposefully crack it in between notes, right? So like the tutorial that I found online, because I looked up tutorials online because I'm weirdo, is like the Scooby-Doo voice, the like like, oh, like, and like the same muscles that you use for that, like you use for the yodel, you know what I mean? But you just like choose the pitch that you end and begin on. And so I thought that was really cool. I can't do it, but it's impressive. It's impressive that people can do it. So I love it. I love it. All right. I buried the lead enough. It's time. It's time. I'm like literally, get up, bro, get up. I want to yell to myself as I fucking read Drarry Fanfiction in 2023. Okay, I used to be a big fan of Harry Potter, right? Used to be like a long time ago when I was a kid. Like I loved the movies, like it was magic, it was great, it was a wonderful thing. But like, you know, recent events plus just me like kind of growing out of it, have kind of like stopped that. Like I just didn't follow Harry Potter. I know there was like a musical for it. I don't know if it's a musical. I think it just might be a play, but I know that was going on. Actually, funny enough, I did audition for that. And like the whole J.K. Rowling stuff happened as well, you know, her. And I stopped with Harry Potter. I just didn't pursue it anymore. And so, I came back into it recently through the Narnia TikToks with Caspian and Edmund. Because around the same time that I was a fan of Harry Potter, I was also a fan of Narnia. And with Narnia, it was... I don't think I really had a ship in that. I remember having a crush on Peter. when I was like really, really young, you know what I mean? And I never thought about this ship at all. I never thought that this was an actual ship. But seeing these two, I was like, whoa, okay, not bad. And so that happened, right? Narnia TikToks happened and brought me back to my past. And from my past, I was trying to find like fan fiction on it, maybe like read up on it. But there's not a lot of Caspian Edmund fan fiction. And so I ended up in the Drarry camp because I was like, it's, you know, there's a little crossover there. And I was like, I was never a Drarry shipper. I think Harry Potter, I left the Harry Potter fandom like before I got into the whole shipping fan fiction era, you know what I mean? And so I never got into it. But then like little by little, I was like, okay. I kept seeing art on my Twitter, and then I would see like the occasional video on TikTok of Drarry, and I was like, I'll give it a go. And that is how I found myself here in this predicament. That is how I found myself here reading Drarry fanfiction in fucking 2023. Because I'm a weak worm who just can't get enough. Anyway, here's the fanfiction that I was reading. It's called Temptation on the Warfront. It was really cool. It was a pretty good fanfiction. It takes place in like during the Deathly Hallows when Harry, Ron, and Hermione are like running around doing whatever, but like, you know, finding the Horcruxes. But in this fanfiction, Draco is like with them, right? And there's like really sweet moments, and I really enjoyed it. It's a really long. It's a pretty long fan fiction too. I think it's 31 chapters, 180,000 words, which is pretty big. That's twice a book's length. A book's length is around 70,000 to 100,000. So that's my fan fiction recommendation. It was pretty good. I enjoyed it. I had a good time with it. That I would literally like while I'm editing and like while something's like rendering or exporting, I'm like reading it. You know what I mean? So yeah, I'm a worm who read fucking Drarry fanfiction this week. And you know what? I'm gonna keep doing it. Sue me. Sid says, old country always gives me nostalgia. I agree. I wish I grew up on country music. I did not grow up with country music because my parents aren't huge country people. But for me, it was something that I like discovered on my own. And I fell in love with it. And I love old country music now. Like my favorite old country song is you may think that I'm talking foolish. Wait, hold on. Can we end on this note? It'd be so funny if I ended on this note. It'd be the funniest shit ever if I ended on this note. Sometimes I'll play the song on my own. I'm no guitarist. I only play the chords, so I'm sorry, okay? You may think that I'm talking foolish. You've heard that I'm wild and I'm free. You may wonder how I can promise you now this love that I feel for you always will be. Well, you're not just time that I'm killing. I'm no longer one of those guys. As sure as I live, this love that I give is gonna be yours until the day that I die. Oh baby, I'm gonna love you forever, forever and ever, amen. As long as old men sit and talk about the weather, as long as old women sit and talk about, oh man, if you wonder how long I'll be faithful, I'm gonna hide again. I'm gonna love you forever and ever, forever and ever. Amen. Alright everybody, that was episode 1 of HyperFixations. Thank you for joining me. That was super fun. Next week I can guarantee you I'll have a different set of HyperFixations. That's just how my brain works.